Now let's discuss the solution of section D, that means question numbers 23 to 30. Each question carry 4 marks. So the question number 23 says two water taps together can fill a tank in 1 and 7/8 hours. The tap with longer diameter takes 2 hours less than the tap with smaller one to fill the tank separately. Further, this question says find the time in which each tap can fill the tank separately. So first of all, we are assuming let the time in which tap with longer and smaller diameter can fill the tank separately be x hours and y hours respectively. Friends, if a tap can fill the tank in x hour completely, then the part of the tank filled by tap in 1 hour will be 1/x. Same for the second tap, the part of the tank would be filled by the tap in 1 hour will be 1/y. And when both the taps are open combinedly, then the part of tank will be filled in 1 hour will be 1/1 and 7/8, that means 1/15/8, so it can be written as 8/15. So in the next step of solution you can write according to the first information in this question 1/x plus 1/y, that means part of the tank filled by both the taps is equal to 1/15/8, that can be written as 8/15. This is the first relation in x and y. Now move on to the second given information in this question. Here it is given that the tap with longer diameter takes 2 hours less than the tap with smaller diameter. So we can represent this information mathematically in this way. That means x is equal to y minus 2. We are getting a linear equation in 2 variable. Mark this relation as an equation 2 and the previous one as an equation number 1. Now put the value of x which is equal to y minus 2 in equation number 1. So what we will obtain in the next step? So on substituting the value of x which is y minus 2 from 2 in 1, we are obtaining this equation, and when we further simplify we are getting a quadratic equation in variable y, that is 8y square minus 46y plus 30 is equal to 0. When you solve this quadratic equation you will get the values of y which are 3/4 and 5. Here we have the value of y. When you substitute this value of y in equation number 2, so you will obtain two distinct values of x which are minus 5/4 and 3. The value of x which is representing time cannot be negative, so we will ignore this value and we are taking x is equal to 3. That means the time taken by first tap to fill the tank completely is 3 hours. And with the help of this result we can conclude, hence the time taken by tap with longer diameter is 3 hours and the time taken by tap with smaller diameter is 5 hours, that is 2 hours less than the time taken by tap with smaller diameter in order to fill the tank separately. So this is the answer for this question. I hope you understood the solution of this question. Now let's discuss the marking scheme. So when you write the relation between x and y using the first information, this step will give you 1 mark, and when you write the relation according to the second information, this step will give you half a mark. And when you put the value of x from equation number 2 in equation number 1, we are getting a quadratic equation, so this step will give you another half mark. And after solving this quadratic equation we are getting the values of y. This step will give you 1 mark for this question. And further, when you obtain the value of x, this step will give you rest 1 mark for this question. So in this way you can solve this question. If you have written this solution, you will definitely score 4 out of 4. Now let's discuss the optional part of this question, because in this question you have choice. You can solve either this part or its optional part. The question says a boat goes 30 km upstream and 44 km downstream in 10 hours. In 13 hours, it can go 40 km upstream and 55 km downstream. Determine the speed of the stream and that of the boat in still water. First of all, we are assuming let the speed of boat in still water be x km/h and the speed of stream be y km/h. When boat is moving in downstream, then you can say the boat is moving in the direction of the flow of river. So its speed can be written as x plus y km/h. But when boat is moving in upstream, that means opposite to the flow of the river, then its speed can be written as x minus y km/h. So in the next step of the solution, you can write according to the given question. Here we are taking time as reference. So when boat is moving in upstream, 30 km divided by the speed of boat. So we will obtain the time taken by boat to move in upstream, then plus 44 divided by x plus y. This is the time taken by boat to move in downstream. That's why we are writing 44 divided by the speed of boat in downstream direction. So their sum is equal to 10. This will give us the first equation. Similarly, according to the given condition, here it is given that it takes 30 hours when boat is moving 40 km in upstream and 55 km downstream. So we can write in this way. So here we have two equations. For solving these two equations, we are assuming 1 upon x minus y and 1 upon x plus y as a and b respectively. So when we replace 1 upon x minus y by a and 1 upon x plus y by b, we are getting a pair of linear equations in two variables a and b. Now friends, you can solve these two equations by any methods like substitution method or elimination method or cross multiplication method, and after solving these two equations, you will obtain the value of b, which is equal to 1 upon 11. And when you further simplify, or when you put the value of b in equation number 3, you will obtain the value of a, which is equal to 1 upon 5. Now with the help of values of a and b, let's find the values of x minus y and x plus y, because x minus y is equal to 1 upon a and x plus y is equal to 1 upon b. So in the next step of solution, you can write x minus y is equal to 5 and x plus y is equal to 11. Again we are getting a pair of linear equations in two variable. Again solve these two equations, and after solving them, we are obtaining the values of x and y, which are equal to 8 and 3 respectively. That means here we have the speed of boat in still water 8 km/h and the speed of stream, or you can say the speed of current. So finally you can conclude, hence the speed of stream is 3 km/h and the speed of boat in still water is 8 km/h. This question based on the concept of pairs of linear equations in two variables. Now let's discuss the marking scheme of this question. So when you obtain or when you represent the given information mathematically, that means equation number 1, this step will give you half a mark. Equation number 2 will give you another half mark. And when you consider 1 upon x minus y as a and 1 upon x plus y as b, this step will give you another half mark for this question. And after putting the values of 1 upon x minus y and 1 upon x plus y, we are obtaining equation number 3 and 4. So this step will give you next half mark. And when you solve these two equations, will obtain the value of a and b. So when you obtain the value of b, this will give you half mark, and when you obtain the value of a, this will give you another half mark. And when you put the values of a and b, or when you obtain the relation in x and y, we are obtaining these two equations, that means equation number 5 and 6. This step will give you another half mark, and rest half mark is based on the values of x and y. So this step will give you rest half mark for this question. So I hope you understood the solution and the marking scheme of this question. Now let's discuss next question. Now let's solve question number 24. This question is from chapter arithmetic progressions. This is very simple and straightforward question, and the question says if the sum of first 4 terms of an arithmetic progression is 40 and that of first 14 terms is 280, then find the sum of its first n terms. That means sum of first 4 terms of the arithmetic progression is given, as well as the sum of first 14 terms of this arithmetic progression is given, and we have to find an expression that represent the sum of first n terms of the given arithmetic progression. Now let's solve this question. First of all, we will assume the first 4 terms of the given arithmetic progression, and the terms are a plus d, a plus 2d and a plus 3d. From this given arithmetic progression, it is clear the first term is a and the common difference is d. And with the help of this given series, you can easily calculate the sum of first 4 terms with the help of this equation. Here we have a linear equation in 2 variables a and d. Now let's find another linear equation in 2 variable a and d with the help of second information in this question, that is the sum of first 14 terms of the given arithmetic progression is 280. Friends, for finding the sum of first 14 terms of the arithmetic progression, we'll use the formula, that is n by 2 multiplied by 2a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to the sum of first 14 terms of the arithmetic progression. Here we will put the value of n as 14, then we will obtain another linear equation in 2 variable, that is 2a plus 13d is equal to 40. Now we have to solve these 2 equations, because here we have a pair of linear equations in 2 variable. You can solve these 2 equations either substitution method or elimination method, or you can also solve these 2 equations by cross multiplication method. And after solving these 2 equations, you will obtain the value of a is equal to 7. First we will obtain the value of d, which is equal to 2. When you put the value of 2 in equation number 1, you will obtain the value of a as 7. Now you have first term of this arithmetic progression as well as the common difference. Now you can obtain any of the term and the sum of any number of term for the given arithmetic progression. Now let's find the expression that represent the sum of first n terms of the given arithmetic progression using the formula as we used earlier, that is n by 2 multiplied by 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Place the values of a and d as we obtained in the previous step. So you will obtain a quadratic polynomial, because the sum of first n terms of any arithmetic progression is always of the form of quadratic polynomial. So we are getting a quadratic polynomial n square plus 6n, and this is the required answer for this question. I hope you understood this very simple question based on the concept of arithmetic progression. Now let's discuss the marking scheme of this question. So when you assume the first 4 terms of this arithmetic progression, this step will give you half a mark, and when you find the relation between a and d with the help of the very first information, this step will give you another half mark. And when you write the formula to obtain the sum of first n terms of the arithmetic progression, this step will give you another half mark. And when you find the relation in a and d in second equation, this will give you another half mark. Clear? And after obtaining the values of a and d, this step will give you another half a mark. And when you put the formula to find the n terms of the arithmetic progression, this step will give you another half mark, and rest 1 mark is based on the final answer. I hope you understood the marking scheme of this question. Now let's proceed to the next question.